Hey there, Bill Stainton here with Turning Creativity into Money. And today I want to ask you a question. How do you know if your innovative idea is any good? Really? How do you know if your innovative idea is any good? Well, it depends on what good means. How have you defined good? It's like asking, is 6 feet tall? Well, it depends. For a skyscraper, not so much. For a rabbit, yeah, that's a pretty tall rabbit, right? So 6 feet in and of itself is nothing. It's just 6 feet. Is it good or bad? Don't know. Compared to what? So the first thing you need to do to define whether or not your innovative idea is any good is figure out, what does good mean? In other words, you and your team need to predefine the criteria for success. What will determine whether the idea is good or not good? Let's take an example. Let's say you and your team are tasked with a new product. Your job is to develop a new product for the marketplace, okay? So, great, you need an innovative new product. Now, you could just start tossing out ideas, but that's not going to help you much. First thing you need to figure out, what are the criteria for success? How will we know if this is a good idea or not? And so what might those criteria be? Well, it's up to you and your team, but maybe one is, okay, we need to be able to have this launched in the marketplace by the end of the year. Okay, great. Maybe another one is that our cost per unit can be no more than $84. Great. Maybe supply chain redundancy is important to you. So you might also have as a criteria that there must be at least 2 separate suppliers available for each major component of this product. Great, okay. Whatever the criteria are for you, whether it's a product or a service, whatever it is you're trying to do with your innovation, predefine your conditions of success, your criteria for success. That way, when you start coming up with all your ideas and you're just free-forming ideas, you're not worried about the criteria at this point. They're there. You've predefined them. They're there waiting for you. And then you come up with all these ideas. And then when you look at any particular idea and you say, is this good or bad? You'll have something on which to base your decision. So you might come up with an idea and go, wow, this idea, this looks great. Oh, but there's no way we could have it launched by the end of the year. Okay, is this idea good or bad? Now this idea, it's a bad idea. It might be good for another time, but for this particular innovation initiative, it's not good because it doesn't match the criteria for success. Make sense? So step one for you and your team is to define what are the criteria for success. There may be 1, there may be 100. It's up to you. It depends on whatever this initiative, this innovative initiative is all about. But you and your team need to come up with, what are the criteria for success. That way, when you're asking yourself the question, is this idea any good? You'll have a basis for that question. You'll have a way to make that decision. You'll have a way to define whether this innovation, whether this idea that you and your team have come up with is good or is not good. You'll know whether 6 feet is tall or not because you have something to measure it against. So again, when you're trying to come up with innovative ideas with your team for any kind of situation, the first thing you need to do is define your criteria for success. That's how you're going to know if your idea is any good. I'm Bill Stainton. I'll be back next time with more ideas on how you can turn creativity into money.